Good afternoon. Thank you, Tasha DeLay. Before I get started, I just want to say it's always an honor for me to be here. I've been coming here for 7 years now. Every time I come, I learn something new about the culture, and I see the evolution of this facility and what a great thing it's become, and I come to appreciate new aspects every time. Today, I've come to appreciate the air conditioning in here today, so thank you for that. Now, it's truly a wonderful occasion to celebrate the many list of accomplishments of Dr. Lobsang Sangay, our former Sikyong. Not just to the Tibetan people here in Toronto or in Dharamsala, but all over the world. Sir, you have left a mark that people will remember. You were the first Sikyong of the Central Tibetan administration. That's not an easy thing to do because you have no path to follow, no guidebook. You were guided by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, of course, but nonetheless, you took on a challenge that nobody had faced before. And you did showing great leadership, an unparalleled dedication to justice, for freedom, democracy, and the aspirations of the Tibetan people while advocating for the middle way. So thank you for that, sir. And I have to say, before I move on, I'm also bringing greetings on behalf of my colleague and friend, Arif Virani, who would have dearly loved to be here today to celebrate the occasion with you and all of us. He had a family commitment, but he asked me to pass on his sincere gratitude and thanks. Now, there's a wonderful article by His Holiness where he describes 3 styles of compassionate leadership. First, there is the trailblazer, who leads from the front, who takes risks and sets an example. You, sir, did that without hesitation and with no question about it. You traveled the world, you shared the message of the Tibetan people, meeting with leaders around the world, including Canadian parliamentarians. You came to Canada on numerous occasions starting in 2013, appearing before parliamentary committees, both in the House of Commons and in the Senate. I had the honor of meeting you on a number of occasions, the first time being in 2016, so I got to see firsthand the impact you had at Parliament, at these committees, and in the Senate. Sir, you are a distinguished man, you have a powerful voice, and people sit up and listen. Your message was heard, so thank you for that. And he was not deterred by COVID either, because he did the same thing on Zoom. One time, even at 1 o'clock in the morning, and people were still listening. Sir, nothing stops you. There are no boundaries to your efforts. We appreciate that. His Holiness spoke of leadership akin to the ferryman who accompanies those in his care and shapes the ups and downs of the crossing, and the shepherd who sees everyone in his flock into safety before himself. 3 styles, 3 approaches, but what they have in common is an all-encompassing concern for the welfare of those they lead, and you, sir, embodied them all. Your courage was and remains steadfast, and his humility is genuine. Thank you. Now, not only were you the Tibetan voice of people in Tibet, but around the world. You met with leaders in Canada and elsewhere. You offered that hope and that vision, but you met with communities. And I look around this room and I think of the Tibetan community here in Toronto, here in Etobicoke, and the impact you have had on them. You are their voice, and we are grateful for that. So thank you for that as well, sir. You are dedicated to youth. I should have just gone around up here and listed all of these things here. And that is evident today. You see the youth who are involved in the community. You see them on the stage every time I come to this facility. You see them in Ottawa as part of our parliamentary friendship group. We have young people come every year and work with us, and as much as they learn from us, we learn far more from them. And that is part of the message too. I think some of them are here today. In fact, I received a text from one of them just a few moments ago, and we are grateful for that. And that is another legacy of yours, sir, so thank you. Your invaluable contributions do strengthen democracy. Your tireless dedication at the international level further the calls for global support for the justice of the Tibetan people. I was just in Washington in June, and I was there with my colleague Arif, and I was there with parliamentarians from across the world. There was representatives from over 20 countries. And sir, your impact is felt there as well, because the message of the Tibetan people is being heard. Slowly we were moving forward, we were advancing down the field, and that is in large part because of you, and I want to say thank you for that as well. I'm always humbled by the goals of the Tibetan community and the Buddhist community. I honestly never leave here without feeling that impact. And today is no different, and it is made very special because of you. You're Harvard educated, you served at the highest levels, but you never lost your humility. You speak with that common voice. I even learned today as we were having dinner, he was part of a dance corps when he was younger. I asked him if he could perform some of these dances, and he said, absolutely. So that speaks to that. Sir, you have shown great leadership throughout. I've been humbled to be in your presence for the years that I've known you. I hope I can call you a friend going forward, and I just want to say thank you for all that you have done, and I know that you will continue working hard for this community going forward. Tasha Delay.
Thank you. Church Davanarona, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Next, we have speech by Sheriff Tharchin La.